G'day everyone, I'm the Red Scar and this is Red Scar Gaming. Today I'll be doing my summary of Draft 2 of the Lost Caverns of Ixalan deck that I used. It was basically a mono-green, pretty dinosaur heavy, pretty creature heavy deck. And yeah, this is the summary of how everything went. The Basking Capybara was, I think, pretty much just used as a chump blocker in this deck, which maybe it was just sort of lost opportunities for it, but I'm certainly not complaining. It's a good card. It in this particular case didn't get the 3 toughness part of it very well used, but that's all right. I got a lot of good use out of Poison Dart Frog actually, partly because a lot of people feared the combat trick with it, which is its Death Touch, and the fact that it had reach actually helped me, particularly in Game 7, was able to stop the one flyer getting through. And there's quite a few times that I used the add 1 mana of any colour part of it. So that really helped. Staggering Size was very useful, though I'm sure it could have been a bit more useful occasionally. I don't think I actually got many uses of the trample aspect of it per se, but the +3/+3 certainly helped. The Tendril of Mycotyrant, I think I got that way too often than I would normally expect actually. It was game 2, correct me if I'm wrong, that I used its activated ability quite a few times, that I wasn't really expecting to get as much use out of it as I thought. The fact that it's a 2/2 is perfectly fine for the 2 mana. The activated ability certainly helped in this case. I'm definitely going to draft that again. I don't think I would have gone a second though had I had the opportunity. Armored Kincaller. I did get a fair bit of use out of that. As a 3/3, it's just fine. Sort of bog standard. I was hoping I'd gain the 3 life a few more times than I did, but yeah, look, I'm certainly not complaining, and I'd go with the 3 again. Whiteley's Final Strike, I got some pretty damn good use out of that actually. It's with the creatures that I have a lot of, particularly my more power hungry creatures. It did get a lot of use. It basically just becomes destroy target creature, and because it's target creature, that's even better. There was a lot of problem creatures that I needed to get rid of that one in particular. Sentinel of the Nameless City, I've seen other people use a little better than what I probably did in this particular case, though it's certainly still a very good card. Even if it's just 3/4 Vigilance, I'd probably still pick it, but yeah, the fact that I got a few maps out of it is good. Though, yeah, as I said, I've seen a fair few people use the Explore side of that a bit better. Dinotomaton, which I don't know why I can't pronounce very well. I didn't get as much use out of it as I probably wanted to. It itself attacking, I didn't get much use out of its menace aspect. There was only a few times that I was able to sort of sneak in an extra attack by my opponent having one or not many creatures, being able to basically sneak in one of my other creatures with menace. So maybe I shouldn't have gone for Dinotomaton, but yeah, it's a bit if button maybe. Pathfinding Axejaw, I don't think with that in this particular case, I didn't actually ever get to put a 1/1 counter on anything, which I'm certainly not complaining about. It's still a pretty good card, and I saw it used a lot, so a lot of people seem to agree with me. Yeah, it's good for 4 mana. The 5 mana Malamet Veteran though, I was probably hoping that I got a little bit more use out of the Descend 4 aspect of it. Though I think while I was even drafting this, that I noted that I wouldn't get Descend as much as I probably could, despite being pretty creature heavy. I'm sort of hoping that I didn't get that as much, because most of the games I won, I did sort of pretty convincingly, like before much was in my graveyard. So it was sort of just a backup plan if you want to think of it like that. And two of them, I'd still go with two, though maybe if I had another 5 cost something with trample would have been good as well. Seismic Monstrosaur, I certainly got some use out of. It was only game 7 that I used its sack a land, draw a card ability. That in that particular case, it didn't really help, but yeah, I needed something to do at the time. As the 6/5 trample, I used it quite effectively. I think it's a big, scary creature, and mountain cycling, I did get some use out of it, though maybe it wasn't particularly useful, the mountain cycling part. But look, I'll attack with a 6/5 trample any day. Cavern Stomper, I didn't get terrible use out of it. So I didn't get terribly much use out of it. There was a few times that I got the whole Scry 2 thing helped more than the 7/7 part, and I didn't activate its ability any time actually. So though, yeah, I don't think I've versed many creatures that would have stopped that would have stopped them from blocking it anyway. So yeah, maybe that's more my opponent's fault rather than mine. Earthshaker Dreadmore, I didn't get as much use out of it as I'd hoped. Particularly the ETB draw several cards, though that was very helpful when I did get that couple of uses out of it. The 6/6 trample part, I think it was game 3 that I played it, was probably what caused my opponent to destroy target creature, otherwise waste the destroy target creature on Dreadmore, which I know is certainly not a waste, but yeah, it let the rest of my team attack, so it was certainly a good card. Nurturing Bristleback, there was a few times actually that I got to play that for a 7 mana cost that helped me go wide, is probably more the aspect that helped rather than the 5/5. I'm still a big fan of it. I did use Forest Cycling a few times, though maybe not as often as I'd expected to, hoped to, maybe. Though yeah, I'd definitely go with that again. The mountains, I maybe should have had 4 instead of 3, and I still don't know why I couldn't select the same one 3 times. But anyway, someone might be able to explain that. Hidden Nursery, I did get a few uses of the Discover 4 out of it, which in the cases that I did Discover 4 probably didn't win me the game, but it at least helped, and it let me spend 6 mana on it, so that's good. Captivating Cave, there was a few times that I got to use the whole add 1 mana of any color aspect of it, which yeah, like I know I didn't need the red mana, would have been the situation that often, but I did use the sacrifice it to put a few 1/1 counters on things. Once again, probably could have done that a few more times, but I'm still happy with how that went. Promising Vein, I'm happy that I went with 3, I think, actually, because there was enough time, like with the ability to have the mountain that I may have needed at the time, and reducing the number of lands that I had in my deck, then I was more likely to draw what I needed on the battlefield, whether it's next turn or the turn after or something like that. So I'm pretty happy with how Promising Vein went for me. And just having a quick look there, I sort of wish I had some sort of cave tribal aspect to that actually, but anyway, we'll think about that a bit later. Acrobatic Leap, because there was a little while that I was thinking maybe going white. I can think of a few times that my opponent had a flying creature out that if he didn't necessarily win the game for my opponent, he certainly dealt enough damage that he won the game through other aspects. So maybe Acrobatic Leap would have been good instead of maybe staggering size, maybe, and just for the. But though I'm wondering how much that is just for the flying and the defensive nature of it. So, just thinking of maybe an example that I could have attacked with something. My opponent would have attacked with something with flying that I wouldn't have been able to block anyway, but then was able to block with acrobatic leap. It would have been a defensive card, so maybe I didn't need it because I did play pretty aggressively for most of that. But yeah, you're welcome to tell me that I'm wrong. Autoclan Landmark. I don't think I. Oh, why have I got the hiccups all of a sudden? Yeah, I don't think I would have used that particularly well, particularly with the craft with artifact ability. Scry 2 certainly would have helped, but for 1 mana, I don't think I would have splashed the white just for that. Family Reunion, there's probably no turns that I can think of that all of my creatures getting a bit bigger would have helped, because most of the time when I was attacking with, say, 2 or 3 creatures, I was attacking pretty safely anyway. How much that is just because I have lots of big creatures in here, or I had lots of creatures and could sort of do away with some of them, I don't think Family Reunion would have been much help. So I suppose in that sort of hindsight, white wouldn't have been particularly useful, and especially considering what would I have dropped to put that in. The only thing that might have been better on that front is spring-loaded saw blades, because that would let me flash that in, essentially turn one of my chump blockers into a destroy target creature thing. But once again, it's what would I have taken out? Maybe staggering size, because as I said before, I used that a little bit defensively. But yeah, that's only in hindsight though, so maybe I'm better off having not done that. Shipwreck Sentry, yeah, I certainly wouldn't have picked blue just for that, though it is a pretty good defender. Goblin Tomb Raider, I don't think there would have been many times that I got to use that, because it would have ultimately been the only card that I could play on turn 1, and if I had an artifact, which I very rarely anyway, the only way I can get artifacts with this deck is through Sentinel of Nameless City, then it wouldn't have been a 2/2 haste very often anyway. So yeah, I don't think I would have got much use out of it, so I'm glad I put that away. Ancestor's Aid though was probably one that I could have done a bit better with. There's no particular example that I can think of, but the +2 first strike would have turned one of my potential chump blockers into very damage, plus the create treasure token probably would have helped. In fact, I maybe could have put that in instead of the extra land that I did put in. I did get a lot of land out of that, and I'm happy that I did, because I am pretty high on the mana curve here, so I'm glad I got my mana, but maybe I could have got that instead of one of the forests, maybe. The Zoya was Justice. Yeah, I don't think that's particularly good in draft anyway. Though, yeah, look, maybe there's a situation that it would have done very well in, but yeah, I can't think of anything that would have been particularly good there. Child of the Volcano. Once again, I was going pretty wide most of the time, and I might have got to send a few times, though compared to the other cards that I played a bit later in the game, so I don't think I would have played it instead of, say, Nurturing Bristleback, which I know is a much higher mana cost. But even Malamet Veteran, I don't think I would have played instead of it, at least in this case. Daring Discovery, there might have been a few times that I could have played that. In fact, I'm just thinking my last game, Game 7, I might have actually been able to sneak in a win with that card. But yeah, look, that's very much hindsight, and it would have been perfect timing and all that sort of thing. So yeah, I'm not disappointed in taking that one, and I don't think there would have been anything that I could have really replaced it with. Maybe Poison Dart Frog, but yeah, I'm clutching at straws there. Disturbed Slumber. Once again, I'm still not a fan of turning a land into a creature. Partly because it can be destroyed comparatively easily. The whole it must be blocked this turn if able is also not great. Like, yes, you can use it to your advantage, particularly early game, but yeah, you got to do it a bit carefully. So I'm not a huge fan of that. Malamet Brawler. Yeah, I don't think I would have got any use out of that either, because a lot of my creatures actually have trample anyway, and there's a few things with menace. Yeah, I've got a fair few things with trample, so I don't think I would have been able to award trample to things too much effect anyway. So yeah, Malamet Brawler instead of Basking Capybara maybe, but yeah, I don't think anything else. Cosmium Confluence, because I know that I was thinking if I should have chosen that. Maybe that's the one instance that I should have chosen something, because I didn't get much opportunity to destroy target enchantment from memory. The putting 3/1/1 counters on a cave may have been of use, but I think I ended up sacking most of my caves anyway. Though, yeah, whether I needed to sack them, like maybe I would have won the game earlier had I not sacked them, so something like that. But the whole search my library for a cave would have been best in this deck. Though for 5 mana, I don't think I would have taken out Malamet Veteran for it. Maybe Seismic Monstrosaur, because I would have got my caves instead of mountains. So yeah, maybe I could have dropped red. Cartographer's Companion, sorry. Yeah, maybe I should have taken that instead of Dynatomaton. I'm certainly not unhappy with Seismic Monstrosaur and Dynatomaton. There was very few times that I didn't have the mana I needed, but maybe going mono green would have been more helpful. But yeah, I'm clutching at straws there for an excuse. Anyway, I'm pretty happy with all that. So yeah, but I mean, I didn't win 8 games. That's all right. I'll deal with it though. But hopefully you can learn from what I did, and yeah, we'll see you next time in hopefully draft 3 very soon. See you next time.